Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Before I start, I just want to know if we should have a translation into Hindi. Sabhi log Anglesi samajhte? मैं सोच रहा हूँ सभी लोग नए अंग्रेजी समझते. Huh? Satyam, it's true? Yeah, we should have a translation most likely, huh? कौन अंग्रेजी नहीं समझते? 1, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you. और कुछ अंग्रेजी नहीं समझते? 4, okay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You understand. Yeah. So I think it's less than 20 people. 20 लोग कम. So हो सकते है एक माताजी पीछे अंग्रेजी हिंदी अनुवाद करेंगी. Is possible? Or ek purush, ek prabhu piche anuvad karenge? Is possible? Okay, thank you. So, which Mataji will, kaun se Mataji anuvad karenge? Kaun karenge? Huh? So, tor piche betengi? और सभी हिंदी भाषा लगोनी माताजी बेट के साथ और कौन प्रभु जी साइड कौन अनुवाद करेंगे. You can translate. Okay, तो पीछे बैठेंगे. तो कृपया. This is Antardweep Prabhu? Yeah. Antardweep Prabhu is there. So whoever sits with Antardweep Prabhu will have the double benefit. Will get the words emanating from his lotus mouth. So Sabhi Purush Lok Anglesi ne samaste ye Antardweep Prabhu ke samne बैठेंगे. Antardweep Prabhu अनुवाद करेंगे. प्रभु जी के साथ. ओके, बहुत अच्छा, धन्यवाद. कृपया माफ कीजिए, मैं हिंदी बहुत खराब हूँ. Oh, that is nice. I have a clock here. It's an inconspicuous clock. It means I could look at it and you don't know I'm looking at it. Because there's it's kind of a rule in giving pravachan. If you look at your notes, the audience will look at the clock. If you look at your watch, the audience will look at the door. So it's good to have inconspicuous clock. So we're all very fortunate today because today is the most auspicious appearance day of Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna Janmastami Maha Mahotsava ki jai. Srila Prabhupada instituted the ISKCON Antarashtriya Krishna Bhavanrat Sangha. And Srila Prabhupada said that every ISKCON center is non-different from Vrindavan. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai. So this ISKCON center is like an embassy. an embassy from the spiritual world. And when we come here, we can remember Krishna and we can feel like we're in the spiritual world. Nasta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. When we chant and hear Srimad Bhagavatam, it's like we're getting purified. Can you sit this side so I don't have to go all the way back? It's considered inauspicious to sit behind the speaker. That's also another point of information for all of you. You should sit within the front side. We want to turn our face to Krishna and back to Maya. Not back to Krishna and face towards Maya. Thank you. You're making my seva easier, that I can address all of you. Actually, it's very much big responsibility is there with the speaker, that the audience should hear and understand the message of Krishna consciousness. The Christians, they have a similar principle, that in some Christian churches, while the preacher is giving the message, there are people walking up and down the aisles with big sticks. And if anyone falls asleep, they come and they beat the preacher. They beat the preacher because it's the preacher's responsibility to keep everyone awake. So, good to have everyone in the front. We're so fortunate to be able to share Krishna Katha. It's the most precious gem and jewel in the whole universe. Enables us to remember Krishna. And when we remember Krishna, we can get a higher taste. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinaha rasavarjam rasopyasya param dristvanavartate. Just like earlier today, His Grace Krishnanand Prabhu was speaking Krishna Katha. And he speaks Krishna Katha so sweetly, so nicely. And he has this param dristvanavartate. He has this higher taste where he can go on hearing and chanting the glories of Krishna endlessly, just continuously, ananta. There's no stop. I remember one time I was with him many years ago, maybe around 1994, 95, 96, and we were in Allahabad at the Kumbh Mela together. And we had wonderful association with devotees in Allahabad. There was Param Puja Lokanath Swami Mharaj, Param Puja Radhanath Swami Mharaj, Param Puja Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, Param Puja Jai Pataka Swami Maharaj, Param Puja, who was the scientist? Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj. He was also there with devotees from Manipur. We had a wonderful association. Harinam Sankirtan, loudly chanting the holy names. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So the Kumbh Mela got over. It was time to go home. I was with a group of brahmacharis traveling to Mumbai, and His Grace Krishnanand Prabhu was with us, and he had been reading Chaitanya Bhagavat out loud for the devotees. So we were in the train station with thousands of people waiting for our train. The train was 12 hours late. The entire 12 hours, Krishnanand Prabhu was sitting there reading aloud for all the devotees Chaitanya Bhagavat. 12 hours. And more enlivened at every moment. Gayam tu navitripyatma uttama shloka vikrame yachtrinvatam rasajnanam svadu svadu pade pade. The sages of Naimisharanya, they say we never tire of hearing the messages of Lord Krishna. Krishna is glorified with hymns and prayers. Whoever develops a taste for relationship with Krishna, swadu swadu pade pade, they desire to hear more and more with every step, with every moment. Swadu swadu pade pade. And His Grace Krishnanand Prabhu is a good example of that we can actually see and perceive amongst us. So I feel fortunate that I could hear at least 5 minutes of Prabhu's Katha. And if I can just get one drop of the enthusiasm and taste that he has, then I'll consider my life successful. So seeking his blessings of Srila Prabhupada and all of our acharyas and all of you, I will seek to continue the Katha, following in his footsteps. Kripaya aap sab ashirwad dijiye. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. So His Grace Krishnanand Prabhu was speaking in the beautiful Damodar Leela. Damodar Leela is one of my favorite Leelas of all the Leelas of Lord Krishna. It's so sweet. It's filled with adventure, excitement. There's a chase sequences there. Mother Yashoda chases Krishna. She catches him. Agaro, right? And then, as we heard from the lotus lips of His Grace Krishnanand Prabhu, she took rope and she tried to tie Krishna up. But ye rasi, do ungli, come, right? So she took a second rope and tried to tie Krishna. But dusra war, ye rasi, do ungli, come. So she called all of her friends. Did he mention this part? I think this time he was a little rushed because I had come. She called all of her friends. Kripaya, aap sab, aye, rasi lao. Right? My Hindi's kind of okay. Yeah, you can understand. So all of the friends, they brought rasis from all parts of Gokul. And rasis in Gokul have a very special purpose. All the rasis in Gokul are used mostly for one purpose only. Do you know what that purpose is? They're makan banenge, right? Churning. Hindi mein? Matana. Dahi matana. You're from South India? Yes, he said matanam, right? South Indian. More Sanskrit, right? Thank you. So then, there's another use for the ropes also, or dusra karan. That is, the ropes are used to tie up the cows. So that meant on this day, when all the gopis brought the ropes, it meant that all the cows were free. So they were so happy. The cows were running here and there. They were making loud mooing sounds in great ecstasy. All of them. All the cows were so happy. And Krishna loves the cows. Namo Brahmane Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Ichaya Krishna. What is it? Jagadichaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Namo Brahmane Devaya. Krishna loves the brahmanas. Go Brahman Hitaya Cha. Krishna loves the cows. Govindaya Namo Namaha. We worship Govinda. So this is, Krishna accomplishes many things by doing one activity. So in this Go Charan Leela, in this Damodar Leela, and Krishna also pleased the cows. There's another interesting commentary on this section of the Leela by His Grace Ayindra Prabhu. Has anyone ever heard of Ayindra Prabhu? Ayindra Prabhu has a great taste for chanting the holy names. So he says that the reason that Krishna wanted to give all the gopis and opportunities to bring the ropes was that Mother Yashoda could engage everyone in Krishna's service. Therefore, just like Harinam Sankirtan, I once asked Param Puja Lokanath Swami Mharaj to give me some tips about kirtan. Can you tell me something about kirtan? So Guru Maharaj said, kirtan is not a one-man show. Kirtan involves everyone. So in this way, Krishna and Mother Yashoda were involving all the residents of Gokul and serving Krishna by bringing the ropes. Thus, we take the lesson that we should all cooperate and serve Krishna together. It is not sufficient that only we are given an opportunity to serve. We should offer the opportunity to serve to others also. Therefore, Harinam Sankirtan is so important because it allows us all to come together to serve the Lord by chanting His holy names. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Eva Kevalam, Kalo Nasteva 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 Gatiranyata. The Brihad Narada Purana explains, in this age of Kali, we should chant the holy name, chant the holy name, chant the holy name. There's no other way, no other way, no other way. So Mother Yashoda brought the ropes, and then, because she was struggling so hard, Krishna allowed Mother Yashoda to tie him up, tied him around the waist, and thus he is called Damodar. Damo means rasi, and Udar means hate. Yes. So one who is tied around the waist with a rope, that is Damodar. One time Srila Prabhupada was on a big bus with book distribution devotees in America. And they had a deity of Radha and Krishna. And when the bus is driving, the deities were going like this. They're moving back and forth. So then the devotees tied Radha and Krishna to the bus so that they would not fall over, like seatbelt, right? Fasten your seatbelt. So then devotees asked Srila Prabhupada to give these deities a name. So Srila Prabhupada said, Shri Shri Radha Damodar Ki Jai. And today these deities are in Gita Nagari in Pennsylvania. You can visit them. Very beautiful deities. Krishna is like Astadhatu. He's looking like silver color. Very unique, beautiful color. So Mother Yashoda tied Krishna, Yashoda Damodar, and then Mother Yashoda, first of all, why did she tie him? Was it she wanted just to punish him and make him feel sad? When we punish our children, are they smiling? Generally not, right? They're crying. And they get angry also. So did Mother Yashoda want Krishna to cry and be angry? No. Well, maybe to facilitate his Leela. But generally not. She wanted to protect Krishna. She saw that he was so scared. He was trembling, his chest was shaking, tears were coming from his eyes, the cudgel around his eyes was dripping down his face, crying, Mataji, Mataji, Kripaya, Chadi Chordo. He was in great distress. So she was afraid. Maybe he would run away, run out into the forest, and the monkeys might attack him and harm him. So to protect Krishna, she tied him up out of motherly love. And she tied him to what? Utkal. So the Utkal was also helping Krishna to climb up to get the butter. So the Utkal was also accomplice in the crime. So Utkal was also punished. So Mother Yashoda had tied up Krishna, and then she went about her household chores. She continued her work. And then Krishna was feeling angry. He was thinking, I did something naughty before, but now I will do something really naughty. In the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj's house are two twin Arjun trees, Vriksh. Now I heard this Katha one time from His Grace Dinabandhu Prabhu. Do you know Dinabandhu Prabhu? Very amazing Krishna Katha. And he explained details about these twin Arjun trees. Have you seen an Arjun tree? They're very big and they're very powerful. And they're especially in Mauritius. And Dinabandhu Prabhu had been in Mauritius, and he said that the roots of these trees go so much deep in the ground that even if there's a tropical storm, a cyclone, a hurricane, all the other trees will fall down. But these Arjun trees, they hold onto the ground and they don't move. So it's amazing what Krishna did. Krishna began crawling, and as he was crawling, he pulled the Utkal behind him. The Utkal fell over, and started rolling, and he was pulling it behind him. He was pulling that utkala and pulling, and he was heading right for these two Arjun trees. Now, we should also mention the identity of these trees. During an earlier yuga, there were two demigods. They were Nala Kuvera and Manigriva, and they were the sons of Kuvera. Now, Kuvera bahut dhani loke. So much paisawala, crorepati, like that TV show, crorepati. He was a big crorepati. And similarly, like father, like son. So Manigriva, Nala Kuvera, they had so much money, and they were also good looking, maybe intelligent also, demigods, famous, so much Aishwarya. So they were very puffed up. They were proud. So pride is very, very dangerous thing in spiritual life, in any life. Because when we're proud, we can make aparad. We make offenses. And this is very dangerous. Vinash kijiye. So therefore, there's a very important verse, most important verse from the Shikshastakam, from Lord Chaitanya. Chunadapi sunichena tororapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadaharihi. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be devoid of all sense of false prestige. One should desire to give all respect to others and not desire any respect for oneself. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy names of the Lord constantly. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So Nala Kuvera, Manigriva, they liked to get intoxicated. So they drank some fermented beverage, some intoxicating drink, and they were associating with beautiful women in the water of this small pond, small lake, and they were enjoying with these young girls, and they were all naked. They weren't wearing anything. They were like Digambar, clothed in only the 10 directions. So they were intoxicated, enjoying with naked ladies, and all of a sudden Narada Muni appeared on the scene. Narada Muni bhajai vina radhika ramana nam hai. And the girls, they had some decency. They were Torah Gambir, right? And they ran and put on their clothes. They don't want to be naked in front of Narada Muni. But Nala Kuvera and Manigriva had no such decency. They just stood there fully naked in front of Narada Muni. So Narada Muni said, I curse you. Just as you are standing naked before me now, you will stand naked as trees for the next 10,000 years. It was like Sarp, right? Gave the curse. So then Nala Kuvera and Manigriva, they came to their senses. They were afraid. They were shaking. Oh Narad, please don't curse us. Please. Kripaya Sarp nahi denge. They spoke both Hindi and English. Narada Muni said, all right, I curse you, but also it's a blessing, Ashirwad. Because you will be rescued, you will have darshan of Lord Sri Krishna in Sri Vrindavan Dham. So they were a little bit pacified. And they took their forms as trees, Arjun trees. Who are June trees in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj's house. So Krishna is crawling towards those trees. He's pulling the utkal. He crosses between the trees. The utkal is stuck between the trees. And Krishna is pulling and pulling, and it gets stuck between the trees, and there's a pressure on the trees, and Krishna is crawling and pulling, and the trees are straining, and all of a sudden, the two twin Arjun trees crash to the ground. And the two beautiful forms of Manigriva and Nalakuvera, they come out of the two trees. And they begin offering prayers to Krishna. They offer so many beautiful prayers. And Krishna's friends, they see what's happening. They see two beautiful forms with jewels, and smiling faces, and helmets, and crowns, offering these prayers. And after some time, Manigriva and Nalakuvera, they wafas aenge. They go back to the heavenly planets. Meanwhile, the Vrajabasis, Nanda Maharaj, Mother Yashoda, the Gwalbal, the Gopis, they all come and they heard the sound of the crashing trees. Krishna, are you all right? Are you okay, Krishna? And they said, what happened? And then Krishna's friends, they said, Krishna pulled the utkal between the trees fell down, and then all of these two beautiful forms came and offered prayers to Krishna. And they were demigods. And the residents of Gokul, they said, no, not possible. These boys are just telling some stories. But then some of them were saying, well, Garga Muni said that Krishna's non-different from Narayan. Maybe he did it. Maybe he did it. And he said, this is a very dangerous place. And they started thinking, maybe we should shift from Gokul. They started considering the shift. So then Krishna is playing with his friends. He's playing with his mother. He's playing with the gopis, the elderly gopis. The elderly gopis tell him, Krishna, if we give you a sweet, will you dance? And Krishna says, yes. So they give him half a sweet, and Krishna is dancing so nicely. Maybe I should end soon. People are getting up and going. All right, I'll finish up. So, I wanted to just tell one more story. Would you like to hear one more story? Okay. So, one time, there was a fruit seller, an Aborigine lady. She was carrying fruit in her basket. And Krishna had seen before Nanda Maharaj, when someone would come with grains and give to the fruit seller, that she would give the fruits in exchange. So Krishna saw the fruit seller, he grabbed his tiny hand with grains, and he went running to the fruit seller, and the grains were falling from his hands. And when he reached her, there was practically nothing left. But he gave her what he had, and she was so much in love with this beautiful small child Krishna that she gave him filled up his hands with fruits as much as he could carry. And then when she looked in her basket, instead of being empty, inside the basket it was filled with jewels. So we can understand very important lesson from this story. If we offer what we have to Krishna with love and devotion, Vitram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhaktya paritam ashnami prayatatmanaha, then Krishna will accept it. Prabhupada writes in the purport that if we have so many wealth and we say, here Krishna, here's something for you. I have plenty, but take something. And Krishna is not inclined to accept it. Krishna is Bhava Grahi Janardanaha. He accepts our mood. So if we give him whatever we can, whatever we have, in a mood of love, then Krishna will accept it. Yat kuroshi adashnasi yat jahosi dadasi yat tapasyasi konteya tat karushva madarpanam. So similarly, we have our ISKCON Bhuvaikunta Pandharpur Vedic Cultural Center stall set up in the stalls. Please visit. And it gives us an opportunity to offer our heart to Krishna. So thank you very much for your kind attention this morning. I'm very grateful to you. I'd like to know if there are any comments or questions. No comments, no questions? Okay, I have a question for you. My question is, would you like to have some more kirtan? Okay, everyone please stand up. Thank you so much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Shri Krishna Janmastami Maha Mahotsava ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. That's good. Do we have a mridanga? Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti